and Brahmanbaria and Narsingdi, all these helped. And a whole lot of us took part, dropped in. Now there was a gentleman from Air Headquarters who said, when he saw the load figures, the then CA said, there is a mistake somewhere. This many tons of load, this many people cannot be lifted overnight. They asked us, please confirm. This time it went with a confirmation from the command, not just the squadron. From the command said, yes, what you are reading is right. 1,000 tons and 500 people were airlifted. So the helicopter, which we didn't have to fire a single round in the offensive role of the helicopter was still alarmed. Helicopter was still on the mercy mission. We were actually deployed there to carry rations, backup of arms and ammunition, and any casualty to be evacuated. But in addition to all that, we carried fully armed troops and backup arms and ammunition. In addition to some places we have taken fully cooked food. Entire dekchi went there, big dekchis went there. We went and dropped. They used to feed them, put the dumper back and bring it. So we have done this kind of a thing. So anyone if feels, yes, helicopter was meant for peace operation, we did peace operation in between the war time. That is how we got the thing. And the 110, it is 110 particularly, and all Silcharians. Please note this word Silcharians. I'm using this word Silcharian for all the helicopters which came also from outside other than 110.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we had Air Marshal Cariappa that time, we had Group Captain Chabda that time, we had many other pilots. Okay. And we all flew together, we all fought the war together. Now in to make it little more, then I was telling yesterday to TB, saying that whether you are in Rajamundry, whether you are in Bombay, or whether you are anywhere else on field, everyone fought the war. Please remember this. By you even tightening the screw, a bolt in your 3-tonner in Kumbhigram, people are fighting a war in Agartala. People are fighting the war in this thing. Everyone did their bit. Everyone did their bit, and the helicopters which were wanting, we said, yes, we can finish the war. And when we did all this, when the Dhaka surrendered, I am very proud to say that we were the reason for hastening the war. I am not saying we won the war. We hastened to finish it earliest, and the surrender took place. Please understand, 93,000 odd people. This is the only second time in the entire world who has done surrender of such magnitude. Okay. And when you hear the place where they surrendered, where this paper was signed, it was the place where Mujib had given the first lecture of independence. Ramna Racecourse. Gentlemen, back to you again. Yeah, back to you.
Okay.
Well, you can even ask Doc Sridharan to add a few.
I think he's there with us.
Yes.
Sir, you may add something to whatever Krishnamurthy sir is saying. Unmute yourself, sir. Unmute yourself. Unmute.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I can.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Actually, Wing Commander Krishnamurthy has spoken at length about the entire operation. I can add just that I was also part of this operation right from day one. And as he said that we trained a lot before the war, and our flight commander and CO was instrumental in making us so proficient in handling these helicopters, which helped us during the war to a great extent to carry all these extra load, which was not actually the capability of the helicopter, much beyond the capability.
Okay.
So that part I can vouch for. And also that the conditions that we operated from in Agartala and Kailashar and the other helipads, other landing grounds where we operated were not ideal at all. Because
Unmute.
You're gone on mute, sir. You're gone on mute.
carried us.
Yeah, now. Yes, sir.
And I guess that because we were young at that time, and fully patriotic and full of Josh, that is what carried us through. So,
and being young, we never knew what is fear.
What is danger?
What is danger?
Yes. Very good.
How did you handle, sir? Yeah, madam, please.
I'm Krishnamurthi's sister, Saraswati Gopal Krishnan from Bangalore.
Oh, welcome, madam. Welcome. It's a great honor to have you on the call with your brother. This main
In
speaker.
1970, when he was there, I was newly married. All I could do was eat as less as possible because he was there and I was praying. I never used to eat full meal or full dinner. I was eating very little, thinking about my brother in the war. Nice talking, Krishnamurti. All the best to all of you. Nice seeing all of you.
Yeah,
Thank
I think your prayers were answered and he was safe and sound in spite of all the adventurous and adverse circumstances.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, madam. So kind of you. So kind of you. Yes, sir. My question to both of you is, how did you handle the ground firing on one side and riverine conditions on the other side while moving the troops and all, sir?
We were only hoping there will be no ground fire. We didn't handle ground fire because we cannot control that.
Okay.
Yes, not
Where we knew that there was ground situation was bad, we avoided flying.
Okay.
There was a helicopter which came back with 30 bullet holes in one sortie.
Oh,
Please believe us. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Doc will bear me out. 30
Yes, very
bullet
good, very
holes. 30 bullet holes. Each helicopter had several, but this is the maximum. 30 bullet holes was the maximum. There is no doubt about it. And if Aeroflot guys are listening to it, they will make it sure that they tell the world that is how the Russia produces the items. Very, very rugged. Please remember, these Mi-4 helicopters came to India in 1962. This is 1971 we are talking. 9 years old helicopters they were already in service. And now the main point, all of you put your collars up. I'm talking about the maintenance. The maintenance in these 9 years was so good. None of the helicopters gave trouble in the war field.
I think all our air warriors need a big
hand to the maintenance staff.
Absolutely. Maintenance and the engineers, they were working day in and day out to make. Please remember, it was a radial engine, 14 cylinders. It is a difficult thing to maintain in the world. It is the same engine as your IL-14. Okay.
Okay.
This required enormous amount of hard work, enormous amount of careful identification of when we came with the snags. It required careful identification to the point and work. So 9 years, it never gave problem, and it never gave problem throughout. Yes, if there was a mishandle, yes, it gave problem. But when you knew that it can get, but we never bothered about airmanship. We never bothered about load. We never bothered about the load factor because we thought the war was justified. We never thought we were aggressive. We were thought it was a requirement to push all the refugees back. Why refugees back? They are most welcome from in the partition onwards. During the 1921 onwards, the Bengalis from East Bengal have been coming out. This is a non-stop movement. This was not the thing. That is how the locals also accepted because it was normal. Okay, 71 was the last bit. Otherwise, 47. What happened in 47? Bangladesh, all around West Bengal this side, Meghalaya that side, and Assam. This part of Assam, South Assam, on the eastern borders of Bangladesh, Tripura. They were all full of the erstwhile East Bengalis.
Okay.
So they just walked across. It was an age-old thing from 1921 onward. They have been doing that.
Okay.
So no questions on that. But we cannot afford extra. Where the locals were struggling, local civil government was struggling to look after them. We can't. So we had to fight to push them back. When I say push them back, not the thing. They push them back. The guys were stopping the refugees going back.
Okay.
That is how. And also, what they did in 1970, please read the net. It is unbelievable. It is not even worth speaking about what the Pakistani soldiers did. They suddenly became occupation army. It is their own country. It is not an occupation army. They became occupation army and they mistreated the locals. They mistreated the Bengal population. So,
martial law imposed. Yes.
Martial law was imposed. And so when we did it, they were with us. The locals were with us. That is why they said, any day you come, we are going to welcome you with both arms. In the book I have written, one page I have devoted for one gentleman. Doc was with me that time. There was a gentleman who came and said, this car is yours, please take it.
Yeah, I've seen. Yes, sir.
Okay. We said, no, we don't want it. He said, no, you drive through Bangladesh and go to Silchar and take it that way. You are from there only. I said, no, we don't want. Okay. Now he wanted to pay. It is my gratitude, he said.
Yes.
But what happened? Okay. But what happened? We said, sorry, we cannot accept. Then finally, he accepted after I sat over his car and took a photograph. That photograph is there in the book.
Yes, sir.
Volkswagen Beetle.
Beetle. So it was a very well sought after car that time. So it was so nice of them. I am not saying that he was foolish.
The level of gratitude they expressed.
Absolutely. Because they have gone through hell. And when I say hell, they went through HELL very badly. Because they could not live in their own country.
Yes.
So that was the reason. Now, these are all over. The helicopters, not the other helicopters, did not do any job. The helicopters, Cheetah helicopters, in all other fields, they were doing a big job, transporting the big people, transporting the casualties, transporting the whatever the rations and other thing they can carry. Okay. Our sincere thanks to them all, pilots, the maintenance people, I'm not doing. But my talk restricts myself to the MI4, maintenance and the thing. Now through this forum, I'm going to request all of you, whoever knew who worked in 1971, wartime in Kumbigram, please ask them to contact TB Rao. We are looking for the people, maintenance people, because I don't know, I have forgotten everyone. I have put a few names, some SNCO's name, but there were many more. Please, whoever can, please get us those people. Their children also, they can give the information to us, please. Yes. Jim.
Yes, sir. That you have.
Can I ask a question, please? Milind Wagle.
Yes, sir.
Sir, go ahead, sir.
Wing Commander Subramaniam, as a civilian, I would like to ask this question. I have been seeing your photograph of this surrender at Dhaka, and I can even see it behind your background. So, which is a huge honor, as TBR started off by saying the world sees this photograph virtually every day, and we will see this photograph on the 16th of December 2021 with pride. My question to you, Wing Commander Subramaniam, is: please tell us, how did you manage to get into that photograph? Number one. Number two, please tell us the last half an hour before the surrender ceremony, because you were there in person. We would all like to know the last 15 or 20 minutes before the surrender, and as to how you managed to get into such a wonderful photograph.
Okay, sir. A small addition to what I was taking all this. On the day of 16th, we were told, relax, take rest, because the ceasefire may come or surrender may come. we knew that Jacob was being flown into Dhaka to talk to General Niazi. We were waiting for the surrender news anytime. Okay, 2 o'clock afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we were wondering, crossing our fingers. He says, even if they surrender now, we will miss the surrender ceremony because helicopters may go, but out the helicopter will fly back. All along we have done night SHPO, but suddenly they said, no, you cannot come back at night. Please remember this. I mean, see the irony of the Air Force. Okay. Say suddenly at 3:30, 3:15 or so, everyone said, just get inside all the helicopters, just go. Command had said very clearly, don't send extra people. Who listened to them? For once we disobeyed command.
Okay.
We got into any helicopter available. We put all the army senior officers, come sir, please come, let us go. Whoever was in Agartala that day landed up in Dhaka. Problem was AN-12 Caribous, other transport aeroplanes have made Dhaka runway unlandable, not operational.
Okay.
They have dropped bombs and bombs. The fighter guys have done enough. But the transport aeroplanes carried, I'm telling you, please believe me, raw. When I say raw, please understand the situation. They took the raw bombs and just dropped. And there were big holes.
Totally battered.
Yes. As if there were lakes and wells. Now, where do you have a parking lot? So suddenly we found something that helicopter can hover and park. That is what we did that evening. Quickly we parked, switched off. The crew, the pilot, flight engineer, the load master, that's a flight gunner. We set out, just look after yourself. Please remember to come back to the same place. Suddenly, everyone said, how do we go? Are we expecting a vehicle to come? No, please, you have to look after. Somebody said the Dhaka's airfield has the surrender ceremony. No, we landed in Kurmitola. Talk is Kurmitola, isn't it?
Kurmitola, correct.
Kurmitola. From Kurmitola, we looked after ourselves. Hitchhike. I had one Times live photographer with me. I followed him. Wherever he got into a taxi, I got in along with him. He got into a rickshaw, I got into a rickshaw.
Okay.
Suddenly he got into a 3-tonner, I got into a 3-tonner. We landed up at Ramna Racecourse. Landed. Ramna Racecourse was milling with people. Yesterday I was telling TBR, it was not a right occasion to even think of going there. Why? Because any silly fellow, when I say silly, please don't mind it. Supposing there was a guy with a firearm with loaded bullets, he has been defeated. I'm talking about the enemy. He has been defeated. He will say, let me get rid of my pent-up feeling. You would have shot.
Correct.
Now the world would have taken note of the shooting rather than the surrender.
Yes, sir.
But the Indian Army had played very, very straight and see, they had disarmed them in the Ramna Racecourse. Whoever was present there, they were all disarmed. So much so, it is believed that when General Niazi gave his pistol, it was not his pistol. It was a figurative from one of the soldiers. He took his pistol and gave it. Okay. And no fellows, none of the army, they had the rifle, but they had no ammunition. That is the East Pakistani soldiers. And the Indian army was looking after them because each and every civilian was ready to kill them.
Okay.
It was their hatred that they had been mistreated. So this was, the entire Ramna Racecourse was milling. But I told you, the time-life photographer, he had an antenna on top. He knew what the thing go on because they are all professionals.
Okay.
So where he went, I followed and suddenly I lost him. But now my antennas were up. I watched, suddenly I found a car coming with 4 stars. General Arada came. His wife got on. The General Jacob in his book says, she took my seat. Mrs. Arora. She took Jacob's seat. Doesn't matter. Jacob got another car and he came in that. And then there was another car which followed. General Niazi came with his star plates covered. Please remember that. Okay. And he got on. We were going. There was one place which was decided. Then second place, they said quickly. They said they put 2 tables, a few chairs. Now, please remember 4:30 it was and sunset time in winter in East Pakistan. East Pakistan used to be half an hour ahead of Indian Standard Time.
Yes.
That means 5 o'clock already there. Okay. And it was sun was about to set. There was no light. Who's going to give arc lights? It is not a video shooting. So idea was that they wanted to get this signature from General Niazi at the earliest. The table they put, I don't remember. I have to see the photograph to see whether there was any tablecloth. Please. I mean, it is.
Can you once show the photo, sir, to all our for the benefit of all our viewers? Please
can you look at this? Can you look at this?
Yeah, you can point out, sir. Other people I know, but other people may not know. You can show your photo to. You can.
I'll show the picture.
Yes.
But this is the painting which was. My son is in the Navy. Okay, now when he became a naval fellow and understood the role played by the Indian Army in 71, and I was there, he approached amateur painter and said, please paint this photograph. He has presented this on my 60th birthday.
Oh, great.
That is how this painting is there. Otherwise, there is no reason this painting should be at home.
Yeah, most memorable one, creating history, creating a country.
So, in the picture, I'll show you the picture, and then I'll also show you the
your photos. Show that you are. You show the.
Wing Commander,
Others to unmute.
I'm sorry.
Mute yourself.
Who is trying to reach me? Who is that gentleman?
No, my question, the last part of the question is yet not answered.
No, I'll be coming.
No, let him. He will come back. Yes, he will come back.
No, sure.
You will have the time to ask. So let him.
We got digressed a bit. You see,
yeah.
This is the photo. If you can see all, can you see
Yes,
this?
sir.
This is not the exact shot which is going around in the world.
Yes, sir.
But it is showing all the people getting ready for the pose.
Okay. Yes.
They are not. This was probably taken before the shot which is going around as a surrender photograph.
Yes, sir.
Please have a look.
Rare photograph. This is also a rare photograph.
Yeah. This, and just for the information, if you go on the site of Indian Newsreel 1971, you will be able to see a few videos. And you will be able to put 2 and 2 together and understand after I speak. Okay. Now that the tables were put, the 2 chairs were put, and General Arora and Niazi sit. Please note, Lieutenant General Sagat Singh, who has been the person behind, he never made bones. He was very senior among them. And Jacob, Sagat Singh, Air Marshal Diwan, and Admiral Content Krishnan of Eastern Naval Command. H.C. Diwan was from the Eastern Air Command, and General Jacob. And
please unmute yourself. Okay. Yes,
me.
sir. Go on, sir. Go on.
Okay. Probably told to stand together.
Yes, sir.
And the cameras were aiming. I didn't know all this. I was very keen to know what certificate, surrender document, what was there. Yes, I read a bit, and then I also witnessed at a distance of 2.5 feet that first 2 pens did not write. It may be news to you all that pen which the General Arora gave it to General Niazi did not write. Then immediately another pen was, and that was given, that also didn't write. Ultimately, the journalist who is having the mic in his hand, he gave a pen The nib was touched like olden days. Nib, whether it was wet or not, it is touched.
Yeah.
And then he signed. If you remember those days, we used to rub the nib so that the ink used to come.
Yes.
And literally he did, the General Arora did and gave it to him. He handed over to Niazi. Niazi finally signed. Now was the great sigh of relief because the people have surrendered. You have come to the table, but if the paper was not signed that day, it should have been postponed. And everyone was worried that any time UN would interfere.
Okay.
And Pakistanis were hopeful that 7th Fleet will come into the Bay of Bengal.
Yeah, I think it was
Some
on its way.
reason.
It was on its way.
Yes. Whatever the reason, they didn't even enter the Bay of Bengal. They didn't even near come to Diogo Garcia. 7th Fleet did not come. Okay. And the surrender certificate was signed. A great sigh of relief was given. And the moment it was over, there was again, everyone wanted to go home before the darkness, particularly us. We have come from outside. We have nothing, no background. Imagine spending the night in a war-torn Dhaka. And as it was, we had 10 days of improper night and improper sleep and improper rest. So we were very keen. We just got into any helicopter and people took off. Luckily for all of us that we reached our own helicopter, we reached our own thing. Some engineers, some pilots were changed from one helicopter to another. That was not the problem. We reached back. It was darkness and we went to Agartala and an AN-12 had brought some cooked food from outside.
Great, sir. So now you have come back safely after witnessing the historic event.
We
It's
have
a
come
great
back
thing.
safely. All we wanted was to sleep. So we found that Agartala terminal area was very limited. So now the war is over, no expectation of any bombing. People went and slept outside. As it was, we slept outside during the SHBO in the open, under the blue sky. But everyone is. Next morning, we had one BLK Reddy, Kant Reddy. He comes and wakes me up. He is no more. He is from Hyderabad. He comes and wakes me up. Krish, get up. Kicha, what have you done? So I got up, rubbing my eyes. He said, what have I done? He says, please, CO is calling you. Please go there. So I walked across to Squadron Leader Sandhu. And he says, Joker, come here. What have you done?
Okay.
So he gives me the photograph, the paper. So I saw myself. I couldn't believe myself. I said, yes, I was reading the document. I didn't know that I was being taken a photograph. And that photograph has been chosen to the world. In the next 2 days, my friend in Canada, my classmate, he cut a small little photograph from the Vancouver Times and sent it across to me. And my sister, who is on the panel here, she went to the Madras Mail office and collected their live in the black and white photograph. So these are the small
Press Trust of India in Nagamukam.
Okay.
Press Trust of India office. Yes. I went and collected the photograph.
Great.
So
everywhere I said, my brother, my brother, my brother.
Good.
So the family was happy. Yes, family was happy, and thereby all others were happy. Yes, the war has ended.
And how did you feel, sir? How did you feel about your photo and witnessing that historic event?
No, it was a disbelief because I did not stand for the photograph. There was no.
No, it's okay, but you witnessed.
Please listen. Remember, I had a camera myself, Doc myself. We were taking photographs all over, and my flash was not giving me help in the darkness. So now what happened? One of the reasons I went behind was that my camera, I cannot take photographs anymore. Let me go and read the document at least.
Okay.
That is how it happened. You will see the straps of the camera on my shoulder, along with my flying officer single tape. You will see if you see the photograph, now we have something to look forward to have a look at the photograph, and you will see that. Okay, sir. General Apte, any clarification?
The only small little thing I'd like to add to that photograph, Wing Commander Krishnamurthy, is that the person, the civilian person in the photograph, is not a journalist, but he's a very famous news reader of the 1960s, 70s, 80s. Which is Surjit Sen. He became my boss. I'm a freelancer on All India Radio and Doordarshan.
Beautiful.
He became my boss, and he also was a cricket commentator So Surjit Sen was representing All India Radio
Yes.
at that ceremony.
Yes, very correct. So we knew only the initially we had known only Sen, but later on he was clear. It was clarified that it was Surajit Sen. Okay, and Indian newsreel covered it very well. And next few weeks, people used to see the newsreel and say, "Yes, I saw you on the surrender ceremony."
Okay, so all said and done. Narrator thing. Which is the most hardest mission you flew sir, during the course of that this thing? Hardest one.
I remembered yesterday, even this question my wife was asking me. On the night, I don't remember the name, we had just finished Brahmanbaria or Sylhet thing. Doc Sridharan and I were told, go for a casualty evacuation. Okay. Now, in the daytime, I was flying with Doc and there was a Jawan who had misplaced his rifle. And my flight, Doc and I, we could not take off along with the rest of the formation because that man was delaying us, that Jawan was delaying us. So we thought, why not leave him behind and take off? Then he said, no, sir, abhi aa jata hu. So finally, people searched for it and rightfully got it. We caught up with the rest of the formation. We did more sorties and dropped that gentleman, that Jawan also in the wherever was the place to drop. That night, when we were resting, the flight commander called us and said, Doc, you and Krish go and drop this. One general was there, brigadier I think he was, and drop him there. And while coming, if they have anything else, please bring the thing. And it is been clarified that that area is safe. These are the intelligence briefing we used to get. Area is safe. That is enough. So we flew. We went and dropped the general. And suddenly somebody came and said, can you wait a few minutes more? We have a casualty, lying casualty. Lying casualty means a very serious casualty. We said, okay, we wait. And soon the casualty came. The stretcher was brought. The mourning Jawan was there. And we took off. And we went as fast as we went. We came back. We dropped. After coming to Agartala, when the ambulance came to take him to the hospital, I had a doubt. I borrowed my flight engineer's torch. I flashed on his face. He was the same Jawan who delayed us in the daytime.
Okay.
So this particular casualty evacuation in my life, I cannot forget. This is the first article I put in my book. It is called a quick tour of duty. And that also gives a kind of summary of whatever we did till that day. Very, very conclusive writing. You go through that. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I think now
any question?
No, I think, sir, we need 2-3 minutes break for all our this thing also.
Okay.
So for whatever it is, we'll have 2-3 minutes break, sir, before we go on to the next chapter. And so many interesting things are there. We know that Wing Commander Krishnamurthy sir is a great writer, man of letters, and he narrated so many anecdotes and stories of himself and all his colleagues. So they are really interesting and inspiring. So he's also authored the book of Through a Rotor Disc. He's a disc man, so he's seeing the world from the disc, and he has a lot of stories to narrate before we come to the end of it. Now let us take 3 minutes.